before the 20th century, there was no such thing as an appraisal. What changed? What's going on, ladies and gents in Cyberland? Coming back to you with another educational video. This time we're going to do a little bit of education, but a little bit of history. So as I said in my intro, for the 20th century there weren't appraisals, or they weren't common. What changed? Well, Black Tuesday. Black Tuesday was, I believe, a day in October. I forget the actual date, but it happened in 1929. And what that was in Wall Street in New York, the stock market crashed. Not only did it crashed hard. And after that, the entire country, the entire United States went into a huge depression where people pretty much who had some type of thing, who happened to be middle class, now were poor. Who were already poor were poor. Who were now super rich were somewhat super rich. There was nobody that wasn't affected by it. And it came like a sledgehammer hitting an egg. Real quick, real swift, and real hard. And unfortunately, there was a lot of people who were homeowners who, some lost their homes, and at the same time, when banks were foreclosing on these homes and taking them, they were starting to realize that these homes were not valued or worth anything depending on their location. And before this incident, banks would give money to common people, and I don't mean common, I just said that's not the best word, working class, blue collar, everyday American people. And when the Great Depression hit, those banks were, these people couldn't pay with their loans. They couldn't pay their mortgage, and they walked away. They just had the banks would seize the home, but unfortunately when the banks were seizing the homes, what they were given a loan for the home didn't equate to what the home was worth. So if they hypothetically gave somebody $20,000 at the time for a loan for them to have this home on this I'd say acre of land, because there was so much land at the time. Well, banks would, seize the home, and the home was never worth $20,000 to begin with. It was only worth $5,000. And banks were like, what the hell? Some banks were like, it's got to be because of the Depression. It was like, and then there was research being done and realized, no, it's not because of the Depression. It was because this house was never worth anything to begin with, because, what does it have? What does it possess? What is it near? Do people even want the house? Are people going to even want the house? Back then, because I watch a lot of films from the, not a lot, but films that kind of talk about that era, that time period. And what made a home worth much to people was where it was located. And I mean not location. I mean because there was a lot of farmland in a lot of areas. So the homes that were worth more were the homes that were in the city as opposed to being outside of the city. even though technically it hasn't really much changed today. But the point is, homes that were that had acres of land you think would be worth something because of what you can do with the land. But during the Depression, that wasn't the case. And even homes that were near the city, the loans that were done, they kind of, back then, there wasn't the greatest thought process to how much a home should be worth. There was never a full study done on what makes a home worth anything. So after 1929, an appraisal board was created to ensure that moving forward, when people purchase homes or when businesses purchase lots, there needs to be a type of value conducted, an opinion to determine what the home is worth, or what the land is worth, or what the lots is worth. And that's why today, we have things on square footage, the size of the lot, where the land is located, or where the home is located, how big is the home in regards to how big are the rooms, is it a one-story, is it a two-story, is it a duplex, what city is it in, is it out further from a city, is it near a city, is it near a school, what type of school. I mean, there's so many elements. And then the other homes in the area, because back then there were neighborhoods that there weren't a lot of homes altogether. There was some neighbors had homes, and then some neighborhoods just had 2 homes. So how do you compare to what it's worth? And all those things back then, none of that was really discussed as much as it well, not say as it should have been. It was just people didn't know what they didn't know. And moving forward, our society has made a purpose to make sure that we try to know more than what we knew in the past. Always trying to know more and continue to learn and elevate our minds to know more, because the more you know, it's higher likely and stronger possibility you can avoid situations like happened in 1929 to some degree. And that was the reason why appraisals were invented. Now, before I go, even though that's why appraisals were invented, we still had a long way to go into making sure where appraisals being done properly. There was no fraud, no backstabbing, no conflict of interest. We still didn't get over that hurdle just yet. It was just, let's start the process, but the process still needed a lot of work and took a good amount of time. I'd say 60 years probably would be good. And even within 60 years, there was still a lot of fine tuning to make things better. Always room for improvement, right? So anyway, with that being said, I will catch you guys on the next one. Any questions, concerns? You just want to have a chat, hit me up. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.